Welcome boys and girls, ghouls and gals, to another spooky Gundam list. Slothcakes here, and this time we're looking at 10 mobile suits that you don't want to pilot. 10 machines that for one reason or another will either lead to your doom, cause horrific suffering, or both. Be it fast, swift end, or long and drawn out, either or, I can guarantee you it will be horrific the entire time. Now this list is in no particular order, and it can be anything from mobile suits, mobile armors, or even just a machine. The common ground here is it has to be something that a regular Joe Schmo like us would not want to use. But enough with the delays and let's jump in. Let's start things off going to Gundam AGE, the show everyone forgets exists, and highlight the Genoace, the mass production mobile suit of the Earth Federation Force. Now this guy is alright, among the machines of the time, it's actually good. Solid dude. But this all came crashing down when the unknown enemy came by, and the Genoace, for more than a decade, was a punching bag. Everything on the Genoace was just inferior to the unknown enemy's machines. The beam spray gun wasn't powerful enough to pierce the enemy's armor. The heat stick, its melee, was just a dinky little stick that did jack diddly squat. How the unknown enemy just didn't curb stomp the feds and win the war in a weekend is beyond me. But thankfully, with the introduction of the DOS gun, the Federation finally got the fighting chance and future variants would be competent mobile suits. But again, for over a decade, this thing was ass and something you did not want to get in. I actually do recommend watching Gundam AGE. It's an experience that I can't sum up in a short segment, but the bad guys' machines look like cool mecha kaijus. To our next entry, we're gonna go to Gundam Wing to highlight the Wing Zero, a machine a lot would want to pilot. Practically invincible, can fly, has one of the strongest beam rifles in all of Gundam. It rules! But we do have to mention the Zero system. Installed in the Zero, it's a program. It simulates every option and outcome in a situation and streams it into the pilot's head in fractions of a second, allowing them to pick and perform the best option. Now for the kicker. It analyzes every situation, even the ones where you die, and when it streams it to the pilot, they live it. The user can't tell if they're in a simulation or not, so they can run through countless deaths, dying in different ways, over and over again, not knowing if this one is the real one. A never-ending nightmare of reliving various deaths, hoping this one is the one you survive. And even if you do survive, victory is the Zero's prime and only objective. It doesn't care about civilians, teammates, or even the pilot's well-being. Victory is above all else. You have to be built different, be the main character, preferably someone who looks like they're in a boy band and have emotional problems, to benefit from the Zero system. Cause to everyone else, even be a Joe Schmo or a veteran, it's a never-ending nightmare. Anywho, let's introduce our next entry, and it's a mobile suit with an explosive personality, the Zudah. Loved by fans, it's sleek, looks beautiful, and a fast machine to boot. It's truly the bomb. Originally a competitor to the Zaku 1, the Zudah did outperform it, but Zeon went with the Zaku 1 with its mass production mobile suit. Why, you may ask? Was the Zaku 1 more versatile, cheaper, easier to pilot? Maybe, and maybe. But the Zudah had a teeny-weeny problem with its engine, the Jupiter engine, which allowed it to perform so well. But the machine had an overheating issue that kinda sorta caused the thing to fall apart and become a mobile suit-sized IED. So yeah, awesome guy, but awesome to look at, not to use. But coming in hot, we have the EMS-10 Zudah with the Saturn engine. It's new and improved, and once again, it blew the competition away. And itself. Despite fixing the problem, it still had the same problem. But you know what they say, third time's the charm, so let's introduce the Zudah F, which went back and fixed the problems of the prior. And this time they actually fixed it. The Zudah F was a successful mobile suit. Sadly, it was developed late into the 1-year war, so it didn't really get to do anything, and at that time it wasn't the most amazing thing out there. But who cares? The real thing here is it doesn't explode like the priors. I'm serious, this thing will not blow up. No, I am super serious. This guy is not 3 bombs in a trench coat. Don't believe me? Here are the keys, get inside, give him a ride. I promise it won't blow up. I pinky swear. Okay, next up is not a mobile suit, but still something you don't want to get in. So it's time for the mobile coffin. You know him, you love him, it's the ball. A machine that I went into deep detail in another video, check that out, I need the attention. But this guy's a space construction vehicle fitted for combat. Essentially a armored forklift with a cannon. A desperate measure the Federation made during the 1-year war to have something out in the battlefield before they could mass produce mobile suits. But in a serious note, the ball has its quirks. It's cheap, it's easy to use, its weapons are effective even against mobile suit armor, and with proper training and a good squad, the ball can be a menace on the battlefield. But you don't want to hear positives, let's go to the negatives. The ball has little armor, so any damage could easily be fatal. Even with skilled ball handlers, it's a machine that would rely in numbers, drowning Zeon in balls, since losing a squad of them is worth taking out a Zeon mobile suit. It's a machine with a high mortality rate, a simple reason you don't want to get in one. Now, we are not done yet. The RB79 ball has spawned a few variants, some better than others, but there is one that is worse than all of them and even the original base ball. So let's introduce the RB133 ball, model 133. It's a ball made in Universal Century 133, 54 years after the 1-year war. And how is it? Well, despite the time, it's still just a damn ball, but now with 3 cannons. Ooh. They deployed a 50+ year machine that was called the Mobile Coffin when it was new. You did not want to pilot this thing then, and even 50 years later. Now for a fan favorite, we're heading to Gundam Iron-Blooded Orphans for really a large range of mobile suits, and it's anything with the alya vijnanananana system. Developed during the Calamity War to maximize the abilities of mobile suits, this system was installed into the cockpit and connects to the pilot's back, which the pilot would need the device implanted into their spine to operate and link with the machine. From here, it allows the user to move like the mobile suit is their own body, greatly increasing its combat potential. This allowed for people with no mobile suit experience to go toe-to-toe with trained pilots. But now comes the downside. As time passed and technical capabilities fell, so did this. Now only done on young children with a very low success rate, this can lead to a loss of bodily function and even death. And even if you pass, it's still riddled with problems like future surgeries and the harm it causes to the user over time. But now for the best parts. After the war in the outer spheres, this was mainly used for child labor and combat. So with no prior knowledge or education, they can use not cool looking mobile suits, but mobile workers with guns strapped to them. Yep, all that shit just to operate a flatbed that can also equip weapons. Low success spinal surgery to be a child soldier and be given an Amazon truck with guns. It wasn't till the rise of Tekkadan that they were used on mobile suits again, and it was still effective letting children go toe-to-toe with trained soldiers. Staying on the subject of horrific, unethical surgery for a mobile suit, let's head to Gundam Thunderbolt, an alternative Universal Century for the Psycho Zaku. Was just a high mobility Zaku 2 with a shit ton of extra thrusters and weapons thrown on it. But it also has a neat little feature, the Reuse Psycho device. This system allows a pilot to move a mobile suit as if it was their own body. Same song and dance here. This allows for people with little experience to move like a pro. This is achieved by an electrical signal transmitted from the brain being picked up and sent into the system. Now, how is the signal picked up? Well, here's the kicker. They need to go through a horrific surgery consisting of not plugging a thing into your spine, no. The pilot needs to amputate not one, not two, but all 4 of their limbs. Then a metal plug is put on each stump. But hell, at least you can get a metal prosthetic when you're not in the mobile suit. Now, thankfully for Zeon, they had someone who lost both their legs, so the surgery had to just chop both their arms off. But to be a positive Polly here, this thing, as horrific as it is, was an actual success, with the Psycho Zaku being able to defeat the full armored Gundam. But even then, it's a bitter victory. Win or lose, no matter the fame or fortune, you're a walking example of how far humanity would go to win a war. Okay, so far we have spinal surgery with low success rate and quadruple amputee. Ouch. But if those two aren't hardcore enough for you, we are heading back to Iron-Blooded Orphans to look at the Grey's Iron, which has a similar system as the prior mentioned, but cranked up a notch, allowing the pilot and the machine to become truly one. When used, the pilot no longer feels like he's in a mobile suit. The machine becomes the body, allowing for insane reflex time, movement, and responses. Now, for the downside, well, the pilot was Dalton, who suffered severe injuries in the previous battle. So, Gjallarhorn was able to perform a improved alya vijnanananana surgery, which was more than just a spine plug. Now multiple on his back and even on his head, allowing him to be truly one with the mobile suit. It also directly links the camera to his brain. He sees as if he was the machine, so the cockpit has no monitors inside. Now, I don't know if he lost them in the battle or they got rid of them during the surgery, but this dude is limbless. Inside the cockpit is a motionless torso and head. That is essentially the heart and brain of the machine. While badass, this man is entombed in the mobile suit. All bodily functions are fed in and out via tubes. He has no other function or worth outside of piloting. The only reason he'll be taken out of the machine is maintenance. No longer a soldier, no longer a human, but just a weapon. Also, before you say it, yes, it's basically a Dreadnaught. Funny enough, the mobile suit by itself is awesome. Sadly, you gotta become a nugget to use it. At some point, some may be wondering, Sloth, where are the seaworthy bastards you're obsessed with? Will an amphibian make this list? Is there one you wouldn't want to pilot? Well, don't fear, we have an entry. We have the Forbidden Blue, based off the Forbidden Gundam made for amphibious combat. Still having the cool doohickeys of the prior, it would be a solid concept, but they kinda sorta cut corners here and there. They did replace the thrusters with seaworthy ones so it can move in the water, that's good. And to deal with the underwater pressure, well, here's the problem. They kinda sorta did next to nothing, making it rely on its cool shield units using the Geschmatic Panzer, which is its energy deflection armor that allowed it to counteract underwater pressure. And it was the only thing fighting underwater pressure. So if this thing fails, gets damaged, or runs out of juice, you get crushed like a soda can. Thankfully, only 4 of these guys would be made, and this problem would be fixed in the later variants, the Deep Forbidden and the Forbidden Vortex. Alright, Pale Rider time. For those who know, it's expected. We have to include this guy. But why? Well, besides it being a sexy beast of machine with powerful stats to boot, it's got a quirky little feature, the heyyyy system. Based off the exam system, which is spooky by itself, but the appropriately named heyyyy system ramps it up a bit. When activated, it gives an overall performance boost to the mobile suit, allowing it to perform beyond its limits, and allows the pilot to perform as if they were a new type. But at the cost, the heyyyy system doesn't care for the pilot's safety. With the heightened mobility, it puts the user through extreme G-force and stress, and it links to the user's mind, which causes long-term effects. To counteract this, the pilot needs to go through body modifications and heavy performance enhancement drugs. And even with this, the stress and strain put through the pilot's body makes them suffer memory loss that increases over time. Then, the cherry on top, the heyyyy can activate by itself and also just go berserk. A powerful mobile suit that puts your body through the ringer and gives you Alzheimer's. It's one hell of a cost, but damn, you look cool while doing it. And also, we have to mention the sound it makes when it activates. Oh my lord, music to my ears. Beautiful. Whenever I do a video about Gundam horror, this guy always shows up. Be mobile suit, weapons, or really anything, it fits the bill. And it's the Devil Gundam. But let's highlight the Devil's personal army, the Death Army. Created by the Devil Gundam's ability to self-manipulate, they're the main force behind the Devil's Legion, and to pilot one is to be under the control of the Devil Gundam. When looking at these, you wouldn't think there was someone inside, but yup. When it's revealed, it's horrifying. A decaying mass of flesh with wires plugged in. This is the fate of the Devil Army's pilots. One can only assume how much of them are still there. Are they gone? Is it just a body used for its organic purpose? Or is there still fire behind that soulless sockets? Do they know what they are doing, powerless to stop it, knowing that they are destroying everything they cherished, with their only hope is to be mowed down by the Shuffle Alliance, giving them the sweet release of death they deserve? You would think being the Devil Gundam itself is worse, which, yeah, you could say that, but something about being below the Devil Gundam, being a nameless pawn in a countless group, takes the cake. There's still plenty more out there, but we're done for today. I know I'm missing a lot, and I know some are itching to tell me, so leave it down below. A mobile suit, mobile armor, really anything you don't want to pilot in Gundam. But like usual, thank you for watching, thank you for staying this long, and don't forget to have a spooky Halloween. Sloth Cakes here, have a good one and hope to see you next time.